What's good, everyone? It's Zach and welcome back to Grailbound Gaming. I want to use this video to talk about set collecting, which seems honestly to be like a very hot topic among the gaming community on YouTube. And I figured, hey, why not address the elephant in the room and share my personal thoughts on the matter. So I first want to start off by defining what set collecting is. And based on the discussions that I've seen on YouTube, we can actually break that term up into two different categories, with the first category being full set collecting and the second category being subset collecting. So what is full set collecting? Full set collecting is when you choose to collect the complete physical library of video games for a particular console. So for example, right, if you say, for instance, you live in the United States and you want to collect all of the physical games for the GameCube that was released in the United States or Canada, then you would set out to obtain that entire library. So that's just a little small example, but there's even differences when it also comes to full set collecting. Some collectors, by choice or preference, may decide that they want to collect variants within the region. They may decide that they want to collect other exclusives that you may find in different regions around the world. So really, it's all collector preference at the end of the day, but at its core, it's collecting the complete physical library of games for a console. And the other category, subset collecting, is when you choose to collect either some or all of the physical games of a particular franchise. And I have a perfect example here. So to the side of me, I have all of these Silent Hill games that I currently own in my personal collection. I've been open in many of my pickups videos that I want to collect all the Silent Hill games, right? So I'm going to go through the stack and show you all the ones that I currently have and then tell you the ones that I'm missing. Silent Hill Origins for the PSP, very first Silent Hill game for the PS1, Silent Hill HD Collection for the PS3, Silent Hill Homecoming for the PS3, Silent Hill Downpour for the PS3, Silent Hill Downpour for the Xbox 360, Silent Hill Shattered Memories for the Wii, Silent Hill 2 Greatest Hits version right here, Silent Hill 3 Black Label that comes with the soundtrack, Silent Hill 2 Restless Dreams. This is an enhanced port of the Black Label PS2 version that has extra content that is included in the Greatest Hits version for Silent Hill 2 on the PS2. Silent Hill 4 The Room for the OG Xbox. Now, which ones am I missing? Well, let's first start off with the PSP. Silent Hill Shattered Memories is on the PSP. I'm missing that one. There's also a Silent Hill game, I think it's called Book of Memories for the PSP Vita. I'm missing that one as well. And then we can go through the list some more. So I know that for the 360, I'm missing the Silent Hill HD collection because I only have it on the PS3. I'm also missing from the PS2, the Black Labeled Silent Hill 2 game. I'm missing Silent Hill 4 The Room, Silent Hill Origins, and of course, probably the most expensive one in the entire stack of games, which would be the Silent Hill Shattered Memories for the PlayStation 2. So as you can see, I have a pretty good chunk of the Silent Hill games already, but those are just the ones that I'm currently missing in my collection so far. So that is a perfect example of what subset collecting is. I'm going for the Silent Hill franchise. I'm wanting to make sure that I get all the games for the consoles that I own, right? And that's exactly what that is. Okay, so now that I've had the opportunity to define what set collecting is, I think it's now time that I share my thoughts on those who decide to go and do full set collecting. And honestly, it's just stupid, man. Like, why? Why would you want to go for a complete set of video games? It literally makes no sense. It's just very stupid, completely stupid.
Why do you do this? You're so stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Oh, and let's not forget, you're so stupid! Ow!
Look, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you all. So, honestly speaking, I'll never judge anyone who decides to pursue full set collecting. I'll just never do it, right? They're an adult. I'm an adult. I can't tell somebody how to spend their money. I can only give them advice or encourage them or advise them to maybe think about how they go about it. But ultimately, if this is something that they want to do, they're going to do it. But I feel like people are open to maybe hearing different perspectives when it comes to set collecting, especially full set collecting. Another thing I want to point out is that full set collecting has been around for a very long time. This isn't something new, right? This isn't something new in terms of collecting that just appeared out of nowhere or appeared recently within the last 5 years. People have been collecting full sets for consoles many years ago, even before YouTube, right? And just because you are seeing videos and conversations about it right now does not mean that it never existed before. It's just that you are getting introduced to it, for the first time, right? So that's something else to definitely consider, that full set collecting has been going around for such a very long time. So just because you think it's stupid to collect full sets, or that people are stupid for collecting full sets, that's just your perspective. There's other perspectives out there, including my own, right? So what works for one person may not work for the other person. And like I said before, people are going to spend their money in the manner in which they want, and are going to collect in the manner in which they want. So there's no way to really stop them from doing that. But even though I can't stop someone from doing that, I can definitely encourage them or give them advice, and that's something that I definitely want to talk more about. When it comes to full set collecting, do not choose to collect a full set of video games just because you saw your favorite YouTuber do it, right? Like, you just saw your favorite YouTuber, you're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool that they're going for the complete set for the Nintendo GameCube or for the PS2. Maybe I should do that right now. Like, don't make the decision to collect a full physical library of video games just because of the content creator. Not only that, but if there's any advice that I would give you, is to reach out to someone who has either done full set collecting or is currently in that process or has backed out of that process. It's important to hear a different perspective, and also understand and recognize the risks that are associated with full set collecting. Not only that, but it's actually really great to just hear real personal stories about any obstacles or hurdles that people may have had to overcome in order to collect a full set. Because let's just be honest, the prices that were 10 years ago aren't the prices that we have today, right? So you may have been able to, collect the full library of N64 games 10 plus years ago, but nowadays, that may not be the case, or it may be the case, who knows? But I think it all boils down to make sure that you're getting advice, right? So that you can understand the risks, because in your mind, you just see the reward. You're like, oh, the reward is owning a full set for a particular library of video games. And if you just, go forward and rush into that decision without taking steps to understand what it is that you're getting yourself into, then there could be some detrimental consequences later down the line. And it doesn't matter whether you are single, whether you are in a relationship, dating, married, whether you have kids or not, it'll affect you and it'll affect others around you. Because when we're talking about making big decisions like this, you have to consider things financially, you have to consider things psychologically, as well as availability of space, right? And those are just 3 categories that I mentioned. There may be more, which is why I'm saying, hey, make sure that you consult someone who has done it. Now, what I've seen on this platform is definitely some success stories. There's been definitely a few content creators, a couple that have full GameCube sets. I believe there are a couple that I saw that had like full NES sets, which I think is really cool. Let's see what else. There's other ones that are like going for like a complete PS2 library of video games, right? So you see all these people collecting, and best believe there are people who aren't even content creators that are going on that same journey, right? Going on that same journey to collect a full library of video games. And I think it's awesome. Once again, I just advise you, just get advice. That's it. Get advice and make a sober, wise decision. I also think that it's very important to prepare ahead. And when I think about, some of you who may want to get into full set collecting, or those of you who may have started that journey already, I think it's important to set milestones, right? For your progression, for your progress. So let's say, for instance, we take a year, 12 months, right? We take that period, we break it up into 4 quarters, which means that every 3 months you have a progress meeting where you look at your financials, which means how much money have you spent so far in pursuit of collecting a full set of video games. And you just make an evaluation on whether you should continue or not. You talk to your support groups, things like that, right? I think it's very healthy and very sober-minded and very wise to consider doing that, because if I'm being honest, what I've seen with some content creators on this platform is that they will collect a full set of video games, and then, you know, a financial emergency comes up and they have to like sell off some of those games after they've already made these videos, or, you know, they're going through the process of like collecting these games and making content videos, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait a second, I need to backtrack. I need to backtrack because I had a financial emergency come up. And honestly, you don't want to find yourself in a situation like that at all, which is why I think like it's very healthy and important to just set these little milestone progress meetings with yourself to be able to track it all. And look, for anyone who started the journey of collecting a full set of video games and stopped, I'm not going to judge them either. They put their best foot forward. It was a new way for them to enjoy the hobby, and they just realized that, hey, you know, it isn't for me. And I think that that is completely fine. So I believe it just all goes back to getting advice, having a plan, not rushing in, not choosing to do full set collecting just because you see a content creator do it. Take time to count the cost, consider everything. How are you doing in your finances, your personal life, before you decide to take on this amazing challenge, right? So I appreciate you all willing to hear my thoughts, and I'm definitely interested to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comments down below, how do you feel about set collecting? When it comes to full set collecting, even when it comes to subset collecting, let me know down below. And also let me know too if there are any franchises that you want to get all the games for, like with me and Silent Hill. I'm definitely interested to hear about your experience and your thoughts and opinions on all of this. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Until then, I'm out.